Get the facts at propane.com.
Hi guys, welcome to XCOM 2 Modded Core Collection.
Digital strategies at AmericanEagle.com. Our clients have
Just about at the end of the game. She's loading it up now. Here it is. Okay.
We solve digital challenges like this all the time. We implemented a digital marketing strategy that more than doubled their online sales through management of email marketing, paid search, SEO, and social media. For results-driven digital marketing solutions, go to AmericanEagle.com.
I was so excited to buy my first home, but I needed a lot of work done on it. I went on to Angie. Jamie was the first person to call. He's resurfaced my flooring. He's done plumbing work. He's refinished this beautiful table here. Find top-rated certified pros in your area at Angie.com. Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why Select Quote makes getting coverage unique.
Excellent.
Visit Select Quote.
That runs every corner and through every room.
Die Schniefel. That is awesome. I'll check you boys later. No reason to, I got shit to do.
This way uses technology and goes the extra mile to deliver your promises on time, every time. This way is why we're the #1 national LTL carrier for quality. For us, this way is the right way.
4 days, okay. That's the Codex.
24/7 lifeline protection allows Simply Safe agents to help stop crime in real time. Stop. Police are on the way. For instant intruder deterrence and faster police response. Now get 40% off the Simply Safe.
Oops, I don't know what the hell I did.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands with a hotel for any traveler you want to be. Like Quality Inn for the dad that gets every time.
Good intel.
Out of this family road trip. The day is upon us. Look at choicehotels.com. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Live from Studio N. It's 7 o'clock here in New York City. It is Monday, May 13th, 2024. And welcome to Fox on Friends. Commencement walkout. Legendary comedian Jerry Seinfeld becomes the latest deal with the anti-Israel agitators. One Duke graduate speaking with us the last hour about what happened to Jerry.
Let me see that black market. Oh, I got nothing to buy. Try to sell some shit.
Plus, the Fox News alert. Convicted perjurer Michael Cohen set to take the stand today in New York's criminal trial, but the star witness faces serious questions about his credibility.
I will be in D.C. and in New York. Anywhere Mr. Trump is necessary, I'll be there. I did not want to go to the White House. Liar.
And a Hawkeye celebration. Caitlin Clark's teammates surprised her with a graduation after she couldn't attend the ceremony.
Without that degree, she never would have amounted to anything. She's like gonna make money. Right. She would have been lost. Second hour, Fox and Friends starts right now. Remember, morning's bed with friends.
Oh, that takes us back. Isle of Palms, if you've never been there, it's right outside of Charleston. It is a beautiful place. And you can take your boat right there. You can also swim with the ocean.
Is that right where Wild Dunes is?
You have to drive through Isle of Palms to get to Wild Dunes, which is a private area.
This is the one thing I'm jealous of South Carolina. You guys have beaches.
Big beaches, flat beaches.
We don't have that in Texas. I mean, we have Galveston, but it's kind of dirty. We should probably clean it up a little bit.
Dirty beaches. Well, they've had a bunch of hurricanes.
Yeah, listen.
The other thing, that reminds me of a place out in the Hamptons called the Border Barn, where they play that song over and over again, and people get really, really drunk, and they all get over.
How do you know about this?
When was the last time you were there? I think that song plays 24 hours a day.
Is it still open? Boarding barn? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, is it still open, Aaron?
It is.
Yeah.
Aaron, how would you know? He's been there.
Yeah, Long Island, it's big. If you go out to Hamptons and you see the boarding barn, pull over. You will not have a bad time. There was another guy, he was like 6'11", they call him Lurch. He would sit in the middle and with his one hand would throw out drunk people. It was amazing to watch, yeah.
You're out.
Yeah, right. He was just like, God, yeah.
How many times did he throw you out?
I've never been through it. I come from a long line of people who stay in bars. Yeah, I can stay in bars. I don't embarrass my family.
All right, you showed you South Carolina. South Carolina is an important state when it comes to this election. So are a lot of these swing states. And there's some new polls out this morning.
Stunning.
Confirmed in 10:04. This is the New York Times CNN poll.
It is indeed. And in fact, the results are pretty much exactly the same as November, which is going to just terrify the people at the White House. Right now, if the election were held today, the question went, who would you vote for? In the state of Pennsylvania, Trump leads. In Arizona, Trump leads.
By 7.
In Michigan, Trump leads. In Georgia, Trump leads. In Nevada, Trump leads. In Wisconsin, Joe Biden leads by 2. Well, to look back at Georgia, that's 11 now.
Right.
So Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, I mean, that was Biden wins.
What do you mean 11?
When you
Georgia
look at the
by
margin,
10.
well, by 10. Okay, I'm sorry. It was up by what?
I thought you were
Can we restart the show?
I thought you were saying
Oh,
Trump
my
went
goodness.
down points.
I don't mind from Lawrence, but
This is
from
an
you.
inaccuracy.
You're the nice one on the back. What's going on?
You said Trump had about 12 points.
Well, I think that's the one thing that's alarming. You know, these polls go up and down, but to see 12 points in a swing state, I think if you're the Biden camp, you're shaking this morning. And you got to ask yourself, why is it? Is it the economy? Is it the border? And if you were depending on these trials to slow him down, it looks like it's doing the reverse.
Well, according to the article, Lawrence, what it said, look at that crowd. Just dropped about an hour ago. Joe Biden is losing support with young people and non-white voters, and they are upset about the economy, and they're upset about the war in Gaza. Now, here's the part that terrifies Joe Biden's team, and that is, you know, we heard that the economy is going to turn around, the trial's going to start, and also we're going to have a lot of money to spend. They've been able to spend millions of dollars on TV ads in battleground states. The criminal trial has already started, and the stock market is up about 25% from where it was in November, and none of it has helped Joe Biden. And so that is a problem for Joe Biden. Of course, it's still early. Polls can change, but nonetheless, people are heading to the exits. Right. I think also it's important to point out when you look at these, the distance between them. You know, there's some that are tight. Look at Nevada. He's up big in Nevada. So this is pretty good. Also, it shows you the strength of Trump over the strength of party, because in the Senate races, the Republicans are trailing in Nevada, they're trailing in Arizona, they're trailing in Pennsylvania, they're trailing in Wisconsin, where the president's up in all those. So you're going to say, well, Trump's a drag of the
Okay, let's go to engineering.
And it was so cool to see so many people out there supporting Trump on Saturday. About 100,000 people there in New Jersey. You just mentioned the crowd.
How do you get 100,000?
You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing Joe Biden, who has these big fundraiser invite-only events where it's $275 for a place to go and shake hands with him and take a picture. That's George Clooney. That's now Julia Roberts, who's going to do an event with him next week. Then that's also Barack Obama. But look at Trump's crowd. That's the everyday person. That's free to go and see him. And those are people who are dealing with inflation and can't afford a $275,000 ticket for one event.
So to your point, they interviewed some folks within the article. They said nearly 40% of Mr. Trump supporters said that economy or the cost of living was the most important issue. The young lady, she's a registered nurse, right? And she said, even me, as a registered nurse, I'm buying Kroger or store. I'm not buying Jif. We have all had to cut back. And she said, for me, who is the best candidate is who's going to help me in my financial situation to
At least try and not deny it. And when you go and say the economy's great, just listen to me. I'll yell at you if you ask me again. And this is going to show you the biases in the media that would be hard to pick up. So I see 100,000 people, and I say, how is this going to be covered? You know what the story in the New York Times is? Donald Trump jabs Manhattan prosecutor in profane speech at rally. Really? How about 100,000 people see him speak for over an hour, many of it extemporaneously, and whether there was unseasonable...
Chrysalids, my favorite. Easier in part 2 than part 1, apparently. Part 1, the real pain in the ass.
A million people who notice where this election is heading and is somewhat alarmed by it, although Mark Penn is extremely fair. Longtime Clinton pollster and Clinton advisor, he said this in the New York Times. If Mr. Biden wants to serve another 4 years, he has to stop being dragged to the left and chart a different course closer to the center. This sounds like Axelrod. While he won't get any younger, he could still move to the center, hoover up swing voters who desperately want to reject Trump, strengthen his image as a leader by destroying Hamas, and rally the base at the end. But that means first pushing back against the base rather than pandering to it, remembering that when it comes to the man of elections, swing is king. He's exactly right. What Joe Biden has been talking to doing right now. And of course, remember, he's locked up the nomination. So is Donald Trump. So rather than continue to play to the wing, left wing in Joe Biden's case, he should be playing toward the middle. And that's what Mark Penn said. It's getting to the point where it's almost too late. He said, quote, scared candidates are easily sold on the idea that the Democratic base or Republican base is going to stay home in November unless they are constantly fed what they want to hear. The Democratic base is not going to, ultimately, he says, in November, the Democratic base is not going to silently buy and let Donald Trump win. But what he says is that he can do some help to his own campaign by going to the middle, which he's not doing.
The problem with Joe Biden right now, he's not giving us anything to vote for. He has to message. And so as a result, we have a transparent situation. This is an open border, inflation. He said that he's not going to renew the Trump tax cuts. Good luck, Americans. Everybody's taxes are going to go up, not just the rich as he likes to do. The crime is going to continue. He's now become a little fickle with Israel, telling them to get off the gas. So that's not going to play well.
Mark says 40% are already going to vote for Biden, 40% are going to vote for Trump. But you need the ones in the middle. Yeah, and he said, these are the reasons. He said he's too focused on firming up his political base with a new shift on Israel. He says massive tax increases, to your point. He says failing to connect on key issues, inflation, immigration, and energy, and leaving behind the centrist swing vote.
Yeah, if you look at Martha Raddatz, Kristen Welker, Margaret Brennan, they're all pushing this whole anti-Israel narrative that they're just indiscriminately killing babies, which they're not. They're going by Hamas numbers. But when Israel puts out numbers, they say Israel puts out numbers unverified. But Hamas, we don't verify. We'll use those numbers for certain. Just go to the war colleges. They say that the way they're fighting is extremely the roughest terrain on the planet.
Codex data.
Extremely efficient and discriminatory on it. And I bring it to this one statement. If Hamas had the weapons that Israel has, they would wipe out Israel.
Codex data.
Israel has the ability to wipe out Hamas. And instead, they're weaving through the masses in order to kill people who are in tunnels underneath. That's why they need... Because they built 500 square miles worth of tunnels with our money, a lot of it, and they are hiding down there. The Palestinian people are up front, and you provide the precision weaponry that goes on the kits that go on those bombs. They'll hit exactly where they're supposed to. But out in your world, they're now sitting there on the dock.
Imagine not even into a year into the war, we were attacked here September 11th. Foreign countries telling us to get off the gas when Osama bin Laden is still on the release. Sinwar is still out there causing havoc. NASA Fox News alerted Major's testimony expected today. And former President Trump's New York criminal trial. As star witness Michael Cohen is set to take the stand today.
Yeah, he'll be on, they say, about 3 days. Eric Schroeder is live outside the New York State Supreme Court. Eric.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, he once said he would take a bullet for President Trump. Well, now we'll be firing at him from the witness stand starting today. The former president's so-called fixer, the longtime lawyer Michael Cohen, expected to tell the jury that it was Trump who organized the payments to keep Stormy Daniels silent.
Let's do
The
it.
story went out for President Trump's campaign in 2016. When he takes the stand, Cohen is expected to testify about meeting with the president in the Oval Office in February of 2017, 1 month into the Trump presidency. Cohen will claim at that meeting, Trump agreed to reimburse him for the money that he paid to Stormy, and then knowingly lied about it They're calling the reimbursements legal expenses, not the basis of the 34 false business record charges against the former president. But you know, Cohen's a disbarred lawyer and has already admitted he has previously lied under oath, and he's been making a career of attacking his former boss. The former president is under a gag order in this case and can't talk about Cohen. Take a look at how he savaged Cohen during a civil trial last fall.
You're somebody that's a felon, that's a disgrace. I have many clients, by the way, not just me, many clients, but he's a disgraceful felon, and that's the way it's coming out, and I think you all see that.
And so far through this whole trial, no witness has directly tied the former president to this alleged scheme. Prosecutors hope Michael Cohen will do just that, but of course, will the jury believe him? After you.
So, Eric, it all comes down to, he's going to say that he paid Stormy Daniels the money ultimately, and then Donald Trump reimbursed him, and then Michael Cohen then falsified the business records and said they were legal expenses, right? I mean, he's the guy who put it on the as a legal expense.
Yeah, they had invoiced from Michael Cohen. One would assume that would be legal expenses. Prosecutors say it was the Trump organization that falsely said it was legal expenses, and that none of this could have happened without the former president's knowledge and involvement and knowing about it. But you don't have that direct tie yet, and you may get it from Michael Cohen, but of course, will that be enough?
I know, Eric, what stays in my mind is that Michael Cohen said before this started, there's going to be some surprises. And he kept saying over and over again, there's going to be some surprises. So far, we're not getting any surprises. So we'll see what happens today. Thanks so much. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen because the President of the United States is getting penalized for following his lawyer's advice. And then I go down to think about it again. All right, let's say $130,000. It was Michael Cohen's idea. No one says it isn't. He says, this is what you did. There's a tape out there. And one of the tape says, if I can paraphrase, it says, I feel bad that we even made that payment. He goes, every one of your experts you talked to said you did the right thing. And then when let's say it is $130,000, that is a misdemeanor. How does it become a felony that puts somebody in jail?
Is it a misdemeanor? I thought everyone we've known said it's not illegal to pay someone.
Right, but if let's say you do what Hillary Clinton did, took campaign money and paid a law firm and Christopher Steele to do the dossier. Let's say you did that. She got fined. She was found guilty. Found $450,000. That's really what this is.
I think today, Brian, the major point is what Michael Cohen says out of his mouth today. Mr. Cohen, are you still licensed? Are you still able to practice law? Okay, why not, Mr. Cohen? All right. So when it comes to the legal expense, Mr. Cohen, you agree that this happened, right? Did you consult the former president to do that? Were you the lawyer that said? So how does he supposed to know? If you're his lawyer and you told him this is the way to do it, why is this a thing? Didn't you have a duty to let him know that you let your client know that he was breaking the law? I just don't understand. Why would you put this guy on the stand?
You have to. But you have to, Lawrence. You have no choice because he was the only one there with the invoices.
The irony of this whole thing is that Michael Cohen's lawyer gave him this advice. Donald Trump took that advice, and now Michael Cohen's the key witness going against Donald Trump for taking his advice.
And things so well out of a TV series. It's shocking. So it all comes down to if you were sitting in the jury box and you listened to the defense beat him up and say, look, you told all these lies in the past. How are we supposed to believe you now? Will the jury think that there is reasonable doubt in his story that he's telling now as opposed to things that he has submitted to life? I just got some things to follow up on the Bordy Barn that's just coming in from our Bordy Barn correspondent. Howard Shimkus, I love the Bordy Barn, and she used to work here full time. And Dawn at the Bordy Barn? No, Fox. That's a better. Oh, she's just off today? And also Dawn, the Roy Mac. She says Bordy Barn's closed. And then I'm getting other reports from an executive here that the Bordy Barn might reopen. So I'm going to keep you up to date on that stuff.
Well, I think we all need to know.
Brian, you called out Lurch, the former bouncer. If you're watching that, give us a call. He used to stand by a big pole in the middle and just look at people. Like 6'10".
Aaron said it's so much fun, no one wants to leave the dance floor, so some people wear diapers.
Yeah, I did not. That story I didn't know with it.
It can get a little gross, but it's a lot of fun.
Wait, I didn't know that.
So where?
I'm not saying it's not true, but I did not know.
Where your rating goes, when you go. We should do our show live there one day. So you don't get
Other stuff.
stuff on you.
This is a weird metaphor, right? Hey, what's going on in that? Here's Ainsley.
All right, let's tell you some serious news. These are your headlines. Legendary actor Steve Buscemi is being treated in the hospital after he was punched in the face while he was walking down the streets of New York. His publicist telling the New York Post that Steve Buscemi was assaulted in Midtown Manhattan, another victim of a random act of violence in the city. He is okay and appreciates everyone's well wishes, though incredibly sad for everyone that this has happened to him while he was also walking the streets of New York. A terrifying video shows the moments a tourist became the victim of an unprovoked knife attack near New York City's Times Square. The suspect can be seen getting up from his walker and then lunging at two women with a knife. The victim was treated and had to be taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay, while the suspect was arrested and remains in custody this morning. Happening today, crews are set to finally demolish the largest remaining ruins of the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. The demo was originally set for yesterday, but it was postponed because of lightning. It comes nearly 7 weeks after the cargo ship hit the bridge, causing it to collapse, and 6 of the maintenance workers were killed. Maryland officials expect to rebuild the cost would be up to $1.9 billion, and say the new bridge could come as early as the fall of 2028. Man, check this out. Pro-Palestinian protesters shutting down the Florida highway near Disney World, leading to a huge traffic backlog.
I take a new approach.
Free Palestine! Free One driver got up to confront the group known as Queers for Palestine. Officers quickly arrived at the scene and took the 3 to jail, charging them with misdemeanors. Those were the headlines.
And from those cars to that car right there, heading up, rather down Park Avenue, in that car, Michael Cohen, heading the court.
Right, no security, just that biker. I guess he was left out of the court. Bike security. So there he is. He a little bit different than Donald Trump leaving Trump Tower.
So the testimony he's going to give today, which story is the true story?
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about, of course, we're in graduation season, and we've seen a number of protests at different places. Yesterday at Rutgers, I think 50 people did some protesting and things like that. Also yesterday at Duke University, there you can see the featured speaker. We're talking about Jerry Seinfeld, who has been a vocal supporter of Israel after October 7th. He did not mention any of that in his speech. Instead, he told the students to embrace hard work and what they love, and do what they love after graduation. And students with Palestinian flags started walking out of their seats as soon as he was called to the stage. They did not like the fact that Jerry was going to talk.
Here it is.
So when you see his reaction, and he notices everyone leaving, he kind of giggles. He sees pro-Israel. He went over to Israel. He's also gotten protests outside of a restaurant or a comedy club as he was leaving. This is totally unlike anything Jerry Seinfeld's done within his career. Not saying he can't handle it, but he's the most non-controversial comic you will ever have. He's fearless. He's successful, the most successful arguably ever. But if you watch his show, if you see him do stand-up, you don't really ever see him taking a position on anything political. But he was out as a Jewish kid growing up on Long Island. He was out and about for Israel.
You know, it's interesting, Brian. Last week we were reporting how he was saying that comedians, some of the older ones have been grandfathered in, like Larry David, but here he's still getting heckled. He did post "I Stand With Israel" on Instagram after the Hamas attack, but there was this flyer that went around the Duke campus, or it was on social media. It said, "When you see students,
What the hell?
follow them." I will say, being from the Carolinas, I was proud of how, there weren't a lot of people. There were only 36 that did protest during that ceremony.
Well, I think it's also important to not
Wrong way.
label this as anti-Israel. This is anti-Jewish. I mean, he talked about October 7th, but he hasn't been out there on the circuit doing speeches about this. They weren't targeting because he's a Jewish man. Earlier, we talked to a student there that was there and said that they outweighed the bad
Here she is.
I can't say I was surprised given these protests. It's very obvious that they oppose his point of view, but these students definitely went in there. They completely violated Duke's rules. They made it very clear to students that they're not allowed to bring in any signs, any flags, and these students completely violated the rules of Duke University. After these students walk out, and by the way, it's only 40 students, they walked out. After they walked out, the entire stadium started booing them and eventually started chanting Jerry's name, clearly in support of him being our commencement speaker. If there's anyone to be targeted, I feel like I'd be one of the first students, and I can happily say that Duke has done everything in their power to ensure their safety for students. Unfortunately, we cannot say the same for universities across America.
VCU had a walkout on Governor Glenn Youngkin. We also had Emerson a joke. One woman arrived on stage with no robe, wearing all white, covered in red and white, and then she threw her diploma across the stage and held up her hands with all white.
I would love to be that audience and hear Jerry Seinfeld talk. He's the father of the Duke alumna, and he has another student there, another child there.
I have a way to make us all feel a little old. Pretty much every kid who graduated the Duke.
Thank God they're coming my way.
After the show went off the NBC.
They can watch the reruns. They like
Well, they could if they wanted to.
Okay, Stop and Smell the Roses. A new survey shows Americans are craving outdoor time like never before. Dr. Mark Siegel joins us with this Medical Monday story.
He's coming indoors to do that?
No, we're going to be outside.
Good.
Get your coat.
Every day you make big decisions. You crack every crisis and tackle every task. But sometimes you need a little something more. At Bed Bath & Beyond, great deals on great home updates make every choice easier. So make being the commander-in-chief of your home a little less demanding.
I go where I'm needed.
Shop now. BedBathAndBeyond.com.
A perfect day for a family outing. Shingles doesn't care, but Shingrix protects. Only Shingrix has proven over 90% effective. Shingrix is a vaccine used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. Shingrix does not protect everyone. It's not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or a previous dose. Increased risk of chemo toleration. Those observed after getting Shingrix. Agent can also have common side effects: pain, redness, and swelling from the injection site, muscle pain, tiredness, fever, upset stomach. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Shingrix today.
These bills are crazy.
She has no idea she's sitting on a gold mine. She doesn't know that if she owns a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, she can sell all or part of it to Coventry for cash. Even a term policy. Even a term policy? Even a term!
Find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. Call Coventry Direct today at 800-496-9200 or visit CoventryDirect.com.
In 2 seconds, Eric will realize you're going to need more space.
Gotta sell the house.
Or skip the hassles and sell directly to Open Door. When life's doors open, we'll enter the house.
Believe it or not, baby, you can earn your masters.
For under 11,000.
Master's degree for under 11K in less than a year.
Earn your competency-based masters at University of Phoenix.
Nature is quite the artist, wouldn't you agree? The pigments that nature uses to paint its fruits and vegetables aren't there just for visual appeal. Those colorings are also essential to our nutrition. Hi, my name is Vincent Clemens, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. I found that the vast majority of my clients rarely got enough servings of fruits and vegetables. Balance of Nature dietary supplements can provide more of the concentrated fruit and vegetable ingredients and these pigments. Please remember that consuming a balanced diet should be your first priority in improving your health. Nonetheless, if you're considering a nutritional supplement, then I highly recommend Balance of Nature.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplement. Get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Call or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FOXNEWS.
This is what the weaponization of the Justice Department looks like.
After Michael Cohen takes the stand, Sean's all-star lineup sounds off in the latest on the Plus C Anthony.
With absorbing growth, pain won't hold you back from your passions. It's the only solution with 2 max strength and a...
Shit.
Disturbance call turned deadly. Officer Jacob Durbin was shot and killed late Saturday night in an ambush-style attack. He was only 23 years old. In his first year of service with the department, after an hours-long standoff, the suspect was found dead inside an Ohio residence. The tragedy coming as we walk National Police Week. And during this live outside National Law Enforcement Museum in D.C. is retired Tulsa Police Lieutenant Sean Sticks walking. Sean, look at this case right now. It shows you how dangerous every call is. A 23-year-old shot by a 24-year-old.
Yeah, it's another tragic incident of violence against police officers. You know, last year in 2023, we saw 378 officers shot in the line of duty. And luckily, due to individual first aid, medical training and so forth, only 60 officers died from gunshot wounds. Now, Jacob Durbin, 23-year-old rookie, killed by a 24-year-old suspect, as we've seen so many times before with a long, violent criminal history. Convicted felon should be back out on the streets.
So your thoughts about this, too. I just thought it was an interesting description. His name is Deshaun Anthony Vaughn. He's 24 years old, they say, with a man with black hair and brown eyes. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. But they don't tell you if he's black or white. If you're looking for somebody, isn't that a little bit of a hindrance?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, a suspect, regardless of the race, the sex, or anything like that, you need a solid physical description. I can tell you, for us in law enforcement, when we're looking for a suspect, we're telling each other exactly the race of the suspect, the sex of the suspect, the physical build of the suspect, the clothing they're wearing, something like this. When you've got somebody that dangerous out in the public that shot and killed a police officer, you need that information out to the public as well.
Still trying to be politically correct in your job. So far, 19 officers have been shot and killed in 2024, which makes your special coming up on Fox Nation so important. It's called Officer Down.
Yeah, listen, this is my first year to be part of the National Law Enforcement Museum. I'm out here with my friends and my family. Partnered up with Bill Alexander, the director of this thing. And this is something I think a lot of the general public doesn't even know exists, Police Week. We're putting 382 names have been added to the wall this year of officers that were killed in 2023 as well as some in the past. And the public needs to know this is out here. I mean, this is where we come pay our respect to the men and women in law enforcement. We've got a candlelight vigil tonight. It's the 36th year that they've done this. People can donate to the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Fund. These men and women that are doing this job, the Jacob Durbins of the world, the people in North Carolina, the marshal that was just shot and killed, as well as the other officers there, they need this type of support.
Absolutely, and I'll be there tonight. I'll be with you tonight. Hopefully I'll see you later on. Sean, thanks so much. Watch the full special, Officer Down, Honoring the Fallen, available this Friday on Fox Nation. Sean Sticks, thanks so much. Meanwhile, let's go over to Ainsley. Ainsley, you have the other breaking news.
I do. Thank you so much, Brian. Actress Olivia Munn revealing she opted for a full hysterectomy after undergoing a double mastectomy to treat her, quote, aggressive form of breast cancer. Bless her heart. She told Vogue, quote, it was a big decision to make, but it was the best decision for me because I needed to be present for my family. The newsroom star, who shares a 2-year-old son with comedian John Mulaney, also sharing she froze her eggs in anticipation of her treatment. And we're taking a look at the beautiful photos that you sent us of the Northern Lights, lighting up the nighttime sky over large parts of our country over the weekend. This beautiful aurora was sent in by Ken from Michigan. Anna sent in this photo showing the colorful skies down in Alabama. And over in Pennsylvania, Mary sending us a view of this beautiful scene with the American flag. The Northern Lights are expected to linger in some parts of the U.S. through the evening. And those are your headlines. Now to another big legal case today. Jury selection set to begin in Senator Bob Menendez's corruption trial. Sean Duffy on the implications for Democrats moving forward. That's next.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus the year's best deals, like 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today. Find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
It's a good day to cough. Bye-bye, cough.
Major chest congestion. Alert 12 hours of relief.
12 hours? You're going to the movies? Hashtag still not coughing? Mucinex DM 12 hour doesn't just quiet coughs. It treats coughs caused by excess mucus in the source and controls them for 12 hours. It's comeback season. Stubborn chest congestion? Try Mucinex 12 hour.
As the candidates race toward the White House, America hopes for a free and fair election. The kids understand what that means. It's why my team created the Kids Guide to the Presidential Election. As your kids read it, they'll discover how elections are won and how to ensure that every legal vote is counted and what happens when they're not. All future voters need this guide, and you can have it for free. To order, visit freeelectionguide.com. That's freeelectionguide.com.
Is that necessary?
No. Neither's missing your daughter's competition to do payroll. But Paycom employees do their own payroll, so you don't have to miss your daughter's big day. Time to shine. Get Paycom and make the unnecessary unnecessary.
You need new replacement windows, but you're just not sure if there's a budget this year, right? I'm Brian Gary here with Ted Coons from Renewable Anderson. He's here to talk about how to make window replacement more affordable.
Well, first, Brian, you don't have to do them all. You could just replace your worst windows first. Or another way to make them affordable is to change the style of window. For example, you could do a gliding window instead of a casement. We have a lot of ways to make window projects really affordable.
Compared to other window companies, you have a completely different business model.
Yeah, with other companies, there's just too many people involved in the process. There's the manufacturer, the seller, and then the installer, and then the customer. And if you call with a problem, that's when they say, oh, we're the manufacturer. You have to call the installer for that problem. Or vice versa. We're the full-service replacement window division. With us, there's no passing the buck. At Renewal by Anderson, we sell, build, install, and warrant our windows and hardware. So if there's ever an issue, we take full responsibility for it.
Why don't you sell by the window?
It doesn't matter if it's a $200 window or a $1,200 window. A lot of our windows just don't last. Energy efficiency and beauty, there's a much better option. Our Windows Fibrex composite material is available in 9 designer colors, and it's much more durable than vinyl. The Fibrex is low maintenance like vinyl, but stronger than vinyl. And it's beautiful like wood, but doesn't require an upkeep of wood.
Before May 31st, buy one window, patio door, or entry door, and get the next one 40% off. That's 40% off with a minimum purchase of 4, plus save an extra $200 on your entire purchase. With no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 1 year. This offer ends May 31st.
For a free appointment with Renewal by Anderson, call 1-800-704-4200.
When you travel, you can't afford to be sidelined by sore muscles and joints. That's why you should rely on Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream. Whether you're enjoying the day in a far-off place or just working in the yard, Australian Dream helps you to keep moving. Just live life. Live life pain-free. Trust the original. Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream.
The all-new Tempur-Pedic and Down mattress was designed to help aches and pains a thing of the past, because only Tempur material eases your pressure points in a way no other mattress can. For a limited time, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Good morning, my friends. Oh my gosh, what a month it's been. Look at this. Storm reports from May 6th to 11th. 160 tornadoes, wind over 900, and hail 527. So this has been one of the most active Mays, really, that I've seen in many years. It's been really incredible. The great news is the Storm Prediction Center has been right on with where the Washington warnings have been placed over the last couple of weeks. So we'll continue that trend, hopefully warning you where the danger is. We have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect with parts of Mississippi and towards Alabama, the Florida Panhandle as well. And remember, some of these areas were damaged by that tornado on Friday. So the power is out in a lot of areas across the Gulf Coast, and we have more rain in the forecast and the potential for severe weather. We'll keep you up to date on that, but this is through Thursday, Saturday, so another round of storms moving in, and I am concerned about Texas. Severe storm threat for today. You can see all of those areas shaded in red and orange and yellow, and then Tuesday across the southeast. So we will keep our focus on that area, and then we'll warm up the west coast as well. Still a little bit of snow in the higher elevations, which we will certainly keep you up to date on foxweather.com for all of the
Rock and roll.
Over to you, my friend.
All right, JD, thank you very much.
You got it.
Meanwhile, today, in a Manhattan federal court, jury selection begins in the corruption trial of U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, a Democrat. It's the second one the New Jersey Democrat has faced over the last decade. Menendez is facing charges alleging he accepted bribes of, among other things, gold bars and cash in exchange for influence, as well as acting as a foreign agent for Egypt. Joining us right now is co-host of The Bottom Line on Fox Business. You gotta watch it tonight. Former Wisconsin Congressman and prosecutor Sean Duffy. Sean, good morning to you.
Steve, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You know, there are a couple of stories out there. I think in the New York Times it suggests that maybe Bob Menendez may actually throw his wife under the bus and say, she had information. I didn't know we were taking bribe money.
I had no idea, but the gold bars that came into my house allegedly from my wife, I also searched online. I Google searched how much they were worth. Also, Steve, I mean, the prosecution here has some really wonderful details. So one of the envelopes of cash that were found in his jacket pocket when the FBI searched his home, they have fingerprint evidence of the driver of, one of these business associates who allegedly paid the money to Menendez, and also DNA from one of those business associates. So they not only have the gold and the cash, but they also have fingerprints and DNA on the envelopes that held the cash. By the way, Bob Menendez has spent his life serving in government, local levels in New Jersey, all the way up to now the U.S. Senator. I can attest that when you serve in government, you should not have gold bars and almost $500,000 in cash in your home. You don't make that much money. Something else was going on here, Steve. And it's the sort of details of this case are unbelievable. But also, listen, you mentioned he got off this case in 2017. He had a deadlock jury. Prosecutors chose not to go back. Bob Menendez won re-election after that jury trial. I think he thinks he's going to get off again, and if he does, he's going to run in New Jersey potentially as an independent, not a Democrat. And what that can do is allow Republicans to actually win the seats. So Democrats are a bit freaked out about the politics and how this plays out.
Well, in the last governor's race in the great state of New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli, who's a Republican, came within 4 or 5 points of beating the incumbent. So who knows what's going to happen? But you know, there is, and you know politics better than anybody. There is the political hypocrisy. It wasn't that long ago that George Santos, a Republican, who faced all sorts of charges, ethics violations, and stuff like that, essentially was drummed out of the House. Meanwhile, he got off. He was never adjudicated. In the meantime, you got this guy, Bob Menendez, once again, not adjudicated, but he's sitting firm and not going to leave until they drag him out.
Yeah, so it's interesting. George Santos, it's a good point, was charged with federal crimes, and the House threw him out, giving Republicans
Excellent.
a majority. George Santos was a Republican voter, was always on the team that kicked him out, making that majority that much smaller. Menendez also charged, not convicted, and he's still in the Senate. Again, it begs the question: Democrats are able to do things different than Republicans. Republicans kick out their allies and their friends before adjudication. Democrats don't. I think it's actually shameful, this double standard. And again, this is not the only case. We have the Trump trial. We also have Henry Correa, congressman, Democrat congressman down in Texas, has been charged federally for corruption. So there are a number of trials we're going to watch. But if you're Bob Menendez and you're in New Jersey or Manhattan, you probably have a little bit more favorable jury pool than, say, Donald Trump. They're a little deeper blue and a little more agreeable to the Democrat persuasion. However, gold bars and cash, Steve, that's pretty tough.
Oh, I like that.
Especially with people who don't make that much money. I wonder if they're going to actually bring the gold bars in. They will have a bunch of potential jurors today. Jury selection starts here in Manhattan. And tonight, 6 o'clock over on Fox Business, Mr. Duffy along with Dagan will have highlights on Fox Business. He's also going to host a number today at noon, so you've got a busy day, sir. Thank you. I do. It's good. Thank you, Steve. All right. Good enough. See you shortly. Meanwhile, a new survey shows Americans are craving more time outside. Dr. Mark Siegel says that's a good thing. Wait, is he drinking olive oil outside? So you see a Pepsi. What's the deal?
When you show dogs at Westminster Dog Show as long as we have,
Joint health comes first.
and it starts with Cosequin.
For athletes in the ring.
And at home, trust Cosequin.
Cosequin, the official joint health supplement of the Westminster Dog Show.
They went find this umbrella.
In Blackbird.
How about Nike?
Cutting board?
A bar front.
Love it. Budget?
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Start saving. Shop now. BedBathAndBeyond.com. Hey, you, with the small business. It's got all kinds of bright ideas that your customers need to know about. Constant Contact makes it easy. With everything from managing your social posts and events to email and SMS marketing. Constant Contact delivers all the tools you need to help your business grow. Get started today at ConstantContact.com. Constant Contact, helping the small stand tall.
In the furniture business, things move fast. ZipRecruiter helped us hire qualified candidates who can keep up. We needed a project manager yesterday. We posted a job on ZipRecruiter. We had our guy on
Excellent.
site in 5 days. He was qualified in every way. ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all our jobs. They helped us build our dream team. We did it fast. Is that too fast for you?
Okay.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com. In 24 hours, the Women's Murder Club could lose a member. Could it be Claire, Cindy, Yuki, or even Lindsay? Read James Patterson's 24th Hour, his best women's murder club ever.
In 3 seconds, this couple will share a perfect moment.
Oh, wow. We gotta sell our houses.
Well, almost perfect. Don't worry, just sell directly to Open Door. They close in a matter of days. When Life Store's open, we'll handle the house.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
Mel's done surgery.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly reduce stiffness and swelling in RA and PSA. You need to sleep and stop
stop further joint damage. And in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Revoke to lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occur. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant. Done, Silent?
Ask your rheumatologist for Revoke.
And take back what's yours.
Exemplar.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. For almost 20 years, Abacus Life has been purchasing life insurance policy.
When it comes to drugs, how much freedom is too much? Kids. Drugs are out there, but my team feel free to say no to other kids. I can live drug-free without shame. And I admit my team kids. Drugs are free. But how can I feel free to talk about it with my kids?
Questions about drugs and kids? Call or chat to get real-time support.
American Society of Natural Freedom includes this. It's a secret society task. All of these will play. What's the most dangerous thing? Because they are the same. Wow, that is it's always my job to be like sure. Watch out for that. Reading Victoria's very good. Thank you for your support.
57% of Americans aim to maximize their time in the great outdoors. A vast majority say they are more relaxed, they're clear-headed, and happier when they're outside. Our next guest is here to explain how it has significant health benefits. Fox News medical contributor Dr. Mark Siegel joins us on this Medical Monday. Hey, Dr. Siegel.
Great to see you.
Good to see you. Is this because of the pandemic? People were locked up inside?
That's part of it. A lot of people were at their Zoom, they were at their desk, they were at their iPhones, they didn't get out, they were told to be locked down or shut down. They got anxious. A big study in Lancet in Great Britain showed that migration, the amount of time you got to walk or to get outside or move around, decreases your risk of depression. And everyone here, all our camera people, producers, all say being outside helps them. Now, we all agree, and there's this survey out from Talker that says at least 60 minutes a day improves your mood, decreases your depression. These people surveyed, 60% of them said, if I'm inside, I go crazy. I got to be outside. 80% said travel for the purposes of being outside, like going to a national park, going on a hike. By the way, being outside with you, a dear friend of mine for so many years, that lifts my spirit. And Hippocrates said, way back in 400 BC, sunlight improves mood. He called it heliotherapy all that time ago, the first really important physician, Hippocrates.
Breathing the fresh air, right? And who doesn't love a beach vacation?
Oh, immediately. Immediately.
All right, let's talk about the second story, because researchers at Harvard are saying you can lower your risk of dying from dementia if you have olive oil, if you cook with olive oil. How much do we need, and why is this?
First of all, my wife has cooked with olive oil forever, and she's replaced margarine and butter, which is saturated fats. Olive oil is much healthier. Monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, which are antioxidants. And you, Ainsley, have been cooking with avocado oil, which is very similar, unsaturated fats. Now, what does that do? Antioxidants in the brain decreases dementia from forming. This study was done over 28 years with 90,000 people. And even though it was observational, I'm very impressed with it. We already know that olive oil decreases heart disease. Well, micro heart disease effects on the brain causes these dementia.
Let me ask you something. Does it matter what type of olive oil? Because sometimes when I'm at the grocery store, if you buy the store brand, it's a lot cheaper. But some olive oil containers are really expensive. Why Why is
The virgin olive oil is better, but I would say any olive oil is better than no olive oil on top of the Mediterranean diet that you already have. With fish, with vegetables, with fruit, with nuts, with berries. All really good. A glass of wine here and there. All really
you
good.
recommend that, doctor?
Well, yeah, one glass here and there, of course, with friends.
Right, exactly. So they say replace the mayonnaise, replace the margarine, and cook with olive oil. You say avocado oil. What do we need to look for when we are looking at the label? What did you call it? Mono what?
They're called monounsaturated fats. So if you look at Google, you'll see the word polyphenols, which are antioxidants. But the key is better fats, healthier fats. That's what you need. And be outside.
Well, I remember growing up, I was like, Mom, I don't want any butter, I don't want any oil, but the oils are actually good for me.
The right oils are good for you, but think about it. Not only is the olive oil that much better for you, but the kind of things, when you're thinking olive oil, you're thinking fruits, you're thinking vegetables, you're thinking good health.
And now at our age, that's what we're thinking about. I want to live a long life for my child. I want to meet my grandchildren one day, and I definitely do not want dementia.
All of that, I know is going to be true for you. But again, starting here is really, really important. Now, you're not going to sit there drinking half a cup of this. You're going to use it in your
Just
food.
a little teaspoon, they say.
Yeah, but just use it in your food is where it starts. 28% decreased risk of dying of dementia over 25 years. That's enormous improvement. Please, everyone out there, use olive oil instead of butter. That's my prescription for Medical Mondays.
Good job, Dr. Siegel. Thank you for saving our lives. Okay, Lawrence, I'm going to toss it into you.
Ainsley, I love how you asked the question everyone thinking, why is olive oil so expensive? Why is it?
Right?
Why is the cheaper version?
Look, it might be worth not getting that Starbucks coffee and putting that money toward a bottle of olive oil to prevent you from having dementia.
Exactly, worth it.
Now we're saving this.
Alternative headlines: Mumford and Sons guitarist Vincent Marshall says that he hopes his new festival called Dissident Dialogues will become a hub.
Yeah, we're definitely saving this.
Where, quote, real debate can happen. Marshall telling Fox News Digital, quote, we're not an anti-woke festival. We want everyone at the table. We're very keen for all ideas to be challenged and brought in. Sounds like a great idea. Lindsay Lohan celebrating her first Mother's Day since giving birth last summer. The Mean Girls star says she's found the greatest joy as a mom to her son. She posted this photo saying, quote, I'm loving the little things, my baby walks and our baths to our feeding times together. She also had a message of encouragement for others, parents, telling them, quote, you got this. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce proving their love story is still going strong. Singers on the singer's 87th show of her Eras tour in Paris. Kelce was spotted dancing in the stands alongside Bradley Cooper and Cheech. Yesterday, Swift performing 2 songs rumored to be about the football star, and even wore Chiefs colors on stage with a new red and gold costume. Those are your headlines. So I guess I was wrong. Maybe it is a real thing. All right. And about 30 minutes ago, we saw Michael
Save this.
his New York apartment as he's expected to take the
And we'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.
a live report. Next. It's hard to